I never thought I would be one of those people who didn't like therapy because my whole life I like to talk. I like to talk and I like to get things off my mind. I like to express them. I mean, part of what I like about journaling, I can clarify my thoughts, put these thoughts that have been vaguely thought of in my mind. I word them properly and yeah, just having somebody listen to me. I've never really had that. And therapy has been that for me. And I think there's been this fondness growing in my heart because of its absence. I've had sporadic, inconsistent therapy sessions. Um, Never once have been consistent. I've had about like five different therapists. Um, and yeah, this recent therapist I went to, I don't know, it was like a trial thing, but I don't know, maybe because I'm listening to myself more, I don't really care for having somebody hear me, I guess. And I did not enjoy the session at all. But I'm still nonetheless the type of person where I'm not like hesitant to open up. I open up to a stranger on the street. I open up to everybody. I'm an open book. I open up to the internet. I'm very open. And I guess, not even I guess, like I know that that's a symptom of just wanting to be known and understood so badly. But I think that's subsiding a little bit. But even though that need is decreasing in me, that craving to be heard and understood is decreasing in my heart, I still am an open book. I still am an open book. Like I think I'm just that way by nature. Um and yeah, I was going somewhere but I don't really remember. I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say, but my eyes aren't finding a comfortable position to sit in to help me think better. Me and my mom were in an Uber today, and I was just looking out the window thinking about how the mind is literally all we have. The mind is all we have to make sense of. It's the filter that we process all the information. And I'm thinking about the time I took an edible at school. It was quite scary because nothing was making sense. And I had a panic attack and I was shaking and crying in front of a bunch of kids and they were laughing at me and I was just anxious the whole time. And Nothing was making sense. I knew I wasn't making sense, and I knew what I was trying to say, and I kept saying verbally, I know I'm not making sense, but blah 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 blah. Yeah, it was quite isolating. I was trying to express certain thoughts, and I couldn't hold on to the thought for more than like 5 seconds. Bro, it was crazy. And it was isolating because I knew what was going on up here, but also I didn't. And I was coming flashing back in and out, and I was trying to relay that to another person, and I've never experienced to that degree not being able to express myself at all. And I was just saying a whole bunch of nonsense. Oh my god, I sounded mentally ill. But yeah, I'm just thinking about how when you do drugs, you're playing with that, bro. You're playing with your mind. That's a very dangerous game. Like the mind. If the mind does not work out, mental illness is a very scary thing, bro. Hallucinations. Imagine not being able to trust your own eyesight. You can't even trust other people, but you can't trust your own mind. Who can you trust? That's so isolating and scary, and just my anxiety would be through the roof. My anxiety would be through the roof, and my heart really goes out to people who suffer from like extreme mental illnesses that cause them to not make sense of the world around them, and I'm really sorry. And I kind of got a taste of that a little bit when I did that edible. And I don't know. I have a feeling I'm gonna do it again. I mean, I really don't care. Um, yeah, life doesn't make sense as it is already. But as I said, it is still scary. Um, because your mind is also your bridge between other people. Right now, I'm using my mind to relay these thoughts that I'm having, how I was feeling during a time where I couldn't even communicate how I felt. And if I didn't have my mind, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I would feel more isolated than I did before I started speaking today. And yeah, it was a thought that I had. It like ran past me just now. No, not just now. Like I would say, like a minute ago, 6 seconds ago. And I don't remember what it was, but it was something I really wanted to talk about. Yeah, I remember what it was. I was gonna talk about how I feel like I'm getting dumber. I remember I used to be like, I'm never doing drugs. And not in like a childish, like naive type of way, like, oh yeah, I didn't know drugs were that fun. Like, no, I know drugs are fun. I knew that before I ever did any. But it's like I look down on people who did drugs. I viewed you as stupid, you know? And I was like, if you just do drugs that somebody else has, you're probably gonna just be like having with like random people. Very weird connection I was making, and I suppose that's me getting smarter now that I don't really view it so black and white like that anymore. But the reason why I say I feel like I'm getting dumber is because, let me clarify that it wasn't that I believed, oh, if you smoke at all, you're gonna be having sex randomly, or you're gonna be like very sexually mischievous. And yeah, like it was, I'm explaining it quite nutshelly how I feel about people who smoked. Um, and that's a failure of communication on my part. But it was something like that. Um, so yeah, what I really actually thought wasn't so iffy. I'm just having a hard time explaining what I actually thought, like my whole thought process on people who did drugs, people who vaped, smoked cigarettes, popped edibles, like any form of drugs you can intake, any form of drugs you can partake in. Just people who did anything like that, alcohol even. Not alcohol, I'm not gonna lie. Because I drink alcohol when I get my hands on it. But back to what I was saying, I thought that I don't even think I remember what I was saying. I feel like when I took the edible, the same thing that happens now when I'm sober, it happens to me. It happened to me when I took the edible, but like on a much extreme, faster, stimulated way. I couldn't really hold on to my thoughts like how I can't hold on to my thoughts now. I was having a hard time explaining how I truly felt. Just like how I'm having a hard time explaining how I truly feel. It felt like I was like floating above my head. And I feel this way currently. Like as I'm thinking, like I feel like I'm like floating above my thoughts and I'm like watching my thoughts happen. And I don't feel like I'm in it. Like um I don't feel like these are my thoughts. I feel like I'm watching somebody else and I feel like I'm articulating it for it's hard to explain. Felt like in those movies where not those movies like I'm speaking about any genre of movies particularly, but it felt like a movie effect when I was walking through the hallway after taking the edible. It felt like a movie effect. I was like it was like flashes, like one moment I was in this scene, the next moment I was in this scene. It was so weird. It was so weird. I don't know. Um I'm trying to ask myself like if I felt the same way that I feel when I'm sober, like tenfold when I was high, why would I want to do it again? How I want to do it again? And I suppose I like the I don't want to say rebellion of it, cause no, that's not what I mean at all. I think I'm thinking about how much fun I could have had I not been anxious and panicking the whole time, thinking about what would happen to me, thinking about what my mom would say or what she would do. I don't really care about what she thinks. She's quite a disappointment to me. So I actually have not an inkling of care or hesitance in my actions at the possibility I could disappoint her. Um, yeah, I don't know. It could have been fun, but I do know it was scary. So I think the excitement I feel about the thought of doing it again is at the possibility that it could be fun. But if I had the option to experience how I felt when I was high, I would absolutely not. Like maybe to articulate what I was feeling better if I could experience it again, maybe. But it was just super scary. Oh wow, yeah, it was really scary. Wasn't making sense, yo. I was, yeah, I was greened out. It was crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna think some more today. I have about like a million of those, a million thoughts a day. But I'm gonna leave you with those.